To be a conservation photographer, you've got to get engaged with something that most likely also has a science basis to it. You've got to figure out what that is, if it's climate change, if it's marine, if it's vegetation, whatever. But you've got to learn something about it so you know what you're photographing and develop a passion for it.
In principle, anyone that cares about the environment and use his or her images to raise awareness about these problems could be a great conservation photographer.
Well, anybody can be a photojournalist and that knows how to tell a story. But as far as saving our world, once you can tell that story and you feel passionate and you're dedicated towards that cause, that makes you a conservation photographer.
I think a really good way to get into telling conservation stories is to work directly with conservation scientists in the field. It's the best way to get a project basically handed right to you. Oftentimes they will bring you exactly where you need to go and kind of deliver not only kind of a compelling story or a reason to be there or what's important about the issues that are at stake, but also show you where to go and when.
We're seeing so many young photographers that are involved in projects in their backyard that are striving for their imagery to make a difference. That's what conservation photography is, purely making a difference with your imagery towards conservation. So that can be done on all levels, all scales.
Probably it's time to think in the photography not as a hobby, maybe as a responsibility that we need to do as citizens. So we can be great photographers, but if we are not good citizens, I don't think we will become a conservation photographer.
One of the things I've learned is to stay the course for a long time. So I'm still involved in something that's going on in the Tongass called the Big Thorn, which is a clear cut the size of Delaware that we're trying to stop. And I published that book in 1986.
As photographers, our role needs to be to amplify the efforts of all the conservation community. We have been working in the same places for years, documenting the changes, documenting the conflicts, the good and stories and the bad too. We might not be scientists, we might not be the #1 expert in the field of the region, but we have a story in those regions or a story with those pieces, and it counts.
So the future of conservation photography is, I think, it's that many individuals using their cell phones, using their cameras, small ones or big ones, will start using all this material to push decision makers, to push governments to stop the degradation of this planet.
There are a lot of young people around who have that spirit, and I'm very positive that there will be even many more photographers that way than it used to be. I mean, as long as the sun goes up in the east, there's always something new to do.
Anybody can be a conservation photographer. More than anything, I think it's just having the goal of being an advocate for the wild world, for nature, and anybody can do that.